You got this. Did you wrap? How you
Potato toes for the win.
Hey, how you doing? Um, she's going to be doing some singing and playing. Actually, she'll be playing somebody else maybe catering. So we're going to be floating all over the place. No, I think we decided this. So,
Good morning. In whatever way you celebrate, in whatever way you have been cared for by mother figures in your life, in whatever way you yourself are maternal and a mother. All of us. Happy Mother's Day. Something looks different up here. For those of you that were with us pre-COVID, it may look like the way things used to be. For many weeks, for a few folks for a couple of months, it's been a conversation amongst our music team about helping the accompanists hear the choir more clearly and vice versa. And so we're doing a little experiment where we have shifted our music to the side of the sanctuary that used to live on. During COVID, we moved it over because our video equipment could catch our musicians better over here on video. Now we have much more expanded capacity since that formative time. And this has allowed us to open up the space to some other things as well. These are experiments. We're going to give them a good try and see how they work. And you are invited to share what you think and what you experience week to week over time. And if it works, then that is a wonderful discovery. And if it doesn't, we will figure something else out. That is the philosophy of continuous improvement. We're entering into a whole summer of experiments. And the same philosophy prevails. We think hard and we talk with each other and we try something new. And if it works, wonderful. And if it needs to be developed further, then we do that together. In our silver hymnal, because these are jewels that you hold in your hand, it's a reading that we hear almost every Christmas. It says, "Let the children come." And so the children come. Our tradition, we take many teachings and we expand them to include everybody. And that reading we hear almost every Christmas comes from an older teaching. It says, "Suffer the little children, let the children come, because that is what heaven is made of." That's what the beloved community is made of. Today we celebrate RE Sunday. We do this every year. For 8 years that I've been here, and long before that, once a year, we are led by our children to celebrate what they've accomplished this year and to thank our volunteers and our leaders who provided for that program. And that is what we celebrate this year, the way that our children lead us. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
For all those times you stood by me, for all the truth that you made me see, for all the joy you brought to my life, for all the wrong I am everything I am because you love me.
Good morning. My name is Gail Stevenson, and I serve as treasurer of the Board of Trustees of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Spartanburg. Welcome. Welcome to UUCS. We are glad to have you here in this strange and wonderful place. Thank you, Scott. At UUCS, we strive to be a beloved community of warmth, love, and support across all our differences. This is a welcoming congregation where everyone is welcome just as we each are. If you are visiting with us this morning, we would love to meet with you. Visitor cards may be found in the pocket on the back of the chair in front of you. Please feel welcome to fill one out and place it in the offering plate during the service so that we can connect with you. There is a lot happening here. In an effort to streamline our communications, you will find a monthly Connect available in the lobby and a weekly one-page executive summary in our order of service. Of all that is happening, let me highlight just one announcement. I know, just one. Next Sunday, May 18th, plan on being here for our annual flower communion during the service, followed by the annual meeting and a church-wide potluck after. Bring a flower to add to the bouquet we will create at the front of the sanctuary, and bring a dish to share in the potluck. All members are asked to attend the annual meeting, and anyone who is not a member is invited to come hear about the year past and the year to come at UUCS. It will be a fun day. More information about the annual meeting is in this week's happening. Thank you all for making this a place of love.
I would like to add my welcome to everyone. I'm Cynthia Lanier, your worship leader for today.
Good morning.
And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. And now we're going to light our chalice. And I invite everybody to say the purpose statement with me. That's in your program. We seek to create a world of mutual thriving for all beings, where everyone has and no one has to be afraid. Together we strive to build this beloved community, growing in wisdom, care, justice, service, and wonder, open to all. And I'll continue reading. And from the 20th century, UU theologian James Luther Adams, who studied in 1930 Germany and spent the rest of his life advocating for the importance of churches standing up to authorism. And then church is a place where you can practice what it means to be human.
If you would please join us in hymn number 163, For the Earth Forever Turning.
Sing we
It's time to do our Rippling Bowl. The Rippling Bowl is a time of our service when we share our joys and concerns with our beloved community. We place a stone or a shell in the bowl of water. Our joys are magnified and concerns lessen as the ripples go out. Riley will place a stone and shell in the bowl for people who cannot come to the bowl. We invite you to come to the Rippling Bowl now. USCS has developed a covenant a while back with the promise we make to each other and the greater world. It can be found in your order of service or at the bottom of the screen if you're watching virtually. I invite you to say it with me. With courage we say, we are a people of faith and hope, together we covenant, to strive to become our better selves, to honor both the critical mind and the generous heart, to prove that diversity need not be divisiveness, and to respond to systems of violence and oppression with the power of love beyond belief. And during our service, we set aside time to greet each other personally, being mindful of everyone's personal space. If you'd rather sit during this time, feel free to do so. When you hear the music start playing, it is time to return to your seat so we can continue the service. If you are joining virtually, you might want to call a friend or send them a positive thought. Now let the holy chaos begin.
It's time to sit down, it's time to sit down. I know you wanna talk, I know you wanna chat. Go on, sit down, get back to your seat. Go ahead, take your seat.
Yes.
As a congregation, we gather in love, to learn better how to love. When we are born, we renew the world with the love of an open heart. And as we grow, we learn from our teachers and friends the love of a heart still open, resilient and strong, no matter what comes. At this time, we gather to celebrate and dedicate our children. At this time, we formally welcome them into our community, receiving their gifts, and we dedicate ourselves to them, promising to teach and nurture them and the love that guides and strengthens us all of our days. At this time, would River and Owen Williams and their parents please come forward?
As I read this meditation, feel within yourself the way these children expand who we are as a community. Feel how much they nurture us with their energy, their beauty, their gifts, and their presence. Children widen the circle of our being in ways that are limitless. Every baby that is born connects us to our history, our own parents, grandparents, and unknown forebears who brought new life to the world in each successive generation. Every baby that's born links us to the future, to a world yet to come that belongs to our descendants and that we hold in trust for the future that we may never know. Each child connects us to nature, to the innocence and exuberance of a world always birthing newborns, kittens and puppies, lambs and babies. Each child reminds us of the kinship we share with people of other lands and races who love their young as purely and tenderly as we do. Each child connects us to the universe, to the holy mysteries of birth and death and becoming, from which we all emerge. Children widen the circle of our being in ways that are limitless.
We will now offer these children and their families a promise and a blessing. Will the congregation please join me in the responsive reading? You will find it in your order of service. We gather to encircle these beautiful lives, to promise to love and support them their whole life long.
We dedicate ourselves, our minds and hearts, to love and support these children and their families.
Will you nurture them in times of struggle as well as gladness?
We will.
Will you teach them, counsel them, and above all, listen to them, whatever comes? We will. Will you honor their strivings and their gifts, their stumbles and their flights? We will. Whatever is divine, whatever is sacred, that spark is alive within each of these children.
May we know that spark in ourselves too,
and use its gifts to protect, teach, and care for these young lives year by year. May we build a community in which each one of us may grow surrounded by beauty, embraced by love, and supported by peace and strength. May it be so.
We are led by our children, and one of our children is already leading us in our next step. As a congregation, if you are willing and comfortable doing so, I'd like to ask for you to make a huge circle around this sanctuary, touching each other's shoulder so that we are all connected in one large circle. If you are willing, place your hand on the shoulder of the person next to you. When any of us becomes concerned about the talkativeness or energy of Children in the sanctuary, just remember how talkative you all have just now been. This is a blessing. Here is a blessing. May the love that connects and encircles us today, that brings us here and binds us together, alive in each of us, growing in each of us, teach you and nurture you, guide and protect you all of your days. You are the beloved child. You bless the world. May you be blessed.
We present to each of you a rose, a symbol of how beautiful you are and of how loved you are. This rose is without thorns, which represents our promise to protect and nurture you as you grow into maturity, now and throughout your life.
Oh my goodness. There's your flower. Get your flower ribbon.
Here's one for you. Do you want to smell it?
You smell?
Do you want to hold them for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
We are a community of love within a much larger world. These children before us have expanded the circle of our community. In closing, let us remember all children in the greater circle of our world, of which we are one small and vital part. Listen to these words. As today we have received these children into the congregation and committed ourselves to their nurture, let us now receive into our hearts all children. Let us remember the children we once were and who still live within us. Let us love them now in this quiet moment. Let us remember the children of our own families and the children of our friends. Let us love them now in the quiet of this moment. Let us remember the children who are homeless, children who are separated from their families, children who are hungry or in pain, children whose lives are threatened by all manner of violence, drugs, crime, lack of health care, fear, war, and much more. Let us love them now in the quiet of this moment. Let us remember all children and commit ourselves to their growth and safety, their health and education, their uniqueness and their unfolding beauty. Let us love them now in the quiet of this moment and forevermore.
You may be seated. Thank you, everybody.
Whatever works.
Oh, when you ready out for a drive?
Can I have it?
You give Miss Virginia a hug?
All right. At this time, I would like to thank some wonderful people. And the first one is a thank you and a goodbye. Miss Ron, will you please come up here? This is Ron. She is one of our nursery workers, and today is her last Sunday. She will be going off onto new grand adventures, and I just wanted to thank her. And those are for you. So thank you, Ron, for all your hard work. We love you here, and you are always welcome to return. Next, I would like us to thank the wonderful people who have worked with our children and youth throughout the year, teaching them, guiding them, laughing with them, maybe pulling their hair out because of them. So this year we've kind of divided things up. Scott is in charge of adult enrichment. I'm in charge of children's enrichment, and we see why Ann is now in charge of youth enrichment. All right, we will start here with the ones that helped us with our youth. Ella, if you're here, please come forward. She's not here. Okay, Ella, April, Claire, Chris, Sarah, and Colin. These wonderful people headed up our youth enrichment class, and a couple of them worked with our youth outside of Sunday mornings as well. So let's give them a big round of applause. And now those that worked with our children, Allison, Tracy, I don't see Tracy, Kylie, and Shane, I don't see them, Michael, and Sophia, I hope they're all out celebrating their mothers. Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Sophia. And then the next group of people not only served as teachers, but they are also the members of the new Children's Enrichment Committee. What used to be the RE Committee, the Religious Education Committee, is now the Children's Enrichment Committee. So Anna, Melanie, Jean, Jack, and Sarah. And Sarah not only was on the committee, but she is the chair of the committee, and she has just made this year a joy and so much fun to work with. And to honor you a little more because you were the chair, the flowers today are for you. So please take these home. Thank you. You're welcome. So thank you to everyone who loves and works with our children and youth. And if you are interested in getting a gift next year, talk to me about how you can volunteer. Thank you so much.
Okay. It is time for our service when we consider giving financially in this church, which is sacred to many of us. When the plate is passed to you, please add your blessing, even if you not given. Each month we share with a worthy organization within our local community or global cause. Half of the loose money in the plate, all designated funds go to the Share the Plate cause. For our Share the Plate for May, we are supporting Mila with earthquake recovery through the UU Service Committee. And now the ushers may come forward.
I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill, but always admit, keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. God forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. Love and might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. Love and might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't let some hell-bent heart leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out, reconsider. Give the hands above more than just a passing glance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance.
first airplane flight that I ever took was when I was a first-year student in college, January term at Wofford. I flew from our home here through Miami to Venezuela under the wings of Susan Griswold and Nancy Manlove. We will celebrate the life of Susan Griswold 2 Saturdays from now on May 24th, at 1 o'clock here in the sanctuary. I invite you to come. She was quite a person. The stories will be wonderful. And last night, early this morning, strangely, just as we had entered into Mother's Day, several of us gathered around Nancy Manlove as she flew from this life. I'll never forget that first flight. It was an icy January morning, and we took off as the sun was coming up over the surface of the earth. Blazing sun over the snow and ice of the upstate. And Nancy, with that wry, cackling laugh, leaned forward in her seat and looked over at me and said, "I bet you'll never forget this." She was right. My second airplane flight was also under the wing of Susan Griswold and Nancy Manlove. We were in Venezuela, and we went to see Angel Falls. And they had contracted with 2 bush pilots to take us across the Llanos to the Tepuis of Venezuela to see this magnificent waterfall. But the bush pilots did not just fly by for us to see this wonder of the world. They flew by. We beheld this majestic sight. And then they dove and circled and powered up into the spray of the waterfall so that the water was hitting the plane while we flew. I bet you'll never forget this flight. Some of you might feel like you find yourself suddenly in the life of this congregation in the hands of a bush pilot who may have had to drink something to get his own courage up to fly straight into a waterfall. I bet you'll never forget this flight. Adventure, it changes us. It opens us, sometimes in ways we don't want. It asks something of us. And we will never forget this beauty. Give thanks for Susan and Nancy on this Mother's Day. Share silence with me. if there are children or youth who would like to come down front for the next part of what we're going to do, you're invited. And if there are not, I will treat you all as my children. Any takers? Will, Carl, circle up, guys. Actually, we need 2 bulletins. Can somebody grab 2 bulletins for these guys? And Carolyn needs a bulletin too. Come on down, come on down. All right, circle up. I don't want us to do this thing we do sometimes where we put our feet together and make a little star between the 4 of us. And put our feet in. Thank you, guys. You all are great team players. Thank you. Do you have a favorite TV show? The Muppets. You love the Muppets? I love the Muppets too. It's like you read the bulletin and you knew where we were going. Any other favorite shows? Favorite things to watch? Well, my brother, when we were growing up, loved the Muppet Show. And he especially loved this one segment of the Muppet Show. It didn't always come on, but when it did, he would get so excited. And this is the early 80s. We were very young. And the segment was, anybody who knows how to do it, just shout it out. I think we have just dated ourselves. Pigs in Space. It is as ridiculous as it sounds, and you can find wonderful episodes on YouTube. I've posted some to our open Facebook page for the church so that you can access them easily. A warning to everybody. This is 1980s humor, and so some of it is a little outside the lines, but the Muppets still have it on their official YouTube channel, so all the liability lies with them. And it is strangely relevant to the exact moment we are all living. And I'll just leave it there for your curiosity to explore.
And it's on Disney Plus too.
Disney Plus, you got it. You got it. My brother loved this show, and it's a totally ridiculous show. The premise is that there are pigs flying through space. And they can never get along. One of them is always interested in just himself. He's a narcissist. The other one is constantly fighting and bickering, trying to get attention. And the third thinks the other 2 are just idiots. And they always get into huge messes. But somehow, they find their way through. Somehow, they get through. And I was thinking about this because we've been talking a lot about kids in church. For 2 years, we've talked about how can we be more intergenerational as a church? How do we have kids in church? And every time somebody says kids in church, the thing that echoes through my mind is, kids in church. Because what I find is, some of us are very self-interested. And some of us can be really cranky. And some of us think that everybody else are just idiots. It's as if the people in the Muppets knew that human beings act a lot like pigs in space. And the degree to which we all like to eat after the service seems to substantiate that. Have you ever been on an adventure? Yeah? What's an adventure you've been on, big or small? Anything? Arizona, that's big. I've never been to Arizona. Other adventures you've been on? Anybody can call out. What's an adventure that you've been on? Hiking in the mountains, I love that. What else? What are adventures you've been on? On the Great Lakes. What other adventures have you been on? Oh my God. Talk about a pig in space. Yellowstone, so beautiful.
Lexington, Kentucky.
Yes, Kara, Lexington, Kentucky.
Over 3-day event, which was the best weekend all year.
It's so exciting. It changes us, doesn't it?
Yes.
Hiking the Grand Canyon. Beautiful. Finger Lakes in upstate New York. You know, the world calls to us. It calls us to adventure. It calls us to try things. Now, when we go on an adventure, how should we act? If we were going to go on an adventure together, what ways should we act towards each other for the adventure to be a success? Nice? Like pigs in space? What do you mean?
Well, somehow it all works out.
Somehow it all works out. Well, what we say about that is you are a person of faith and hope. Somehow it all works out. There is a kind of magic in people that even when we're self-interested, cranky, and think everybody's an idiot, if we're trying to keep our pork vessel flying through the galaxy, somehow it all works out. How should we act with each other if we're going on an adventure? Excited. There's a world to explore, or worlds. How should we act? Patient, curious. What else? Respectful. Makes them flexible. What else? Say it again. Adaptive. How should we act? Stay together. Stay together. Good. Kind. You know, the thing I love about Pigs in Space is that it's just people being people, or pigs being pigs. They're so real. They're totally flawed. They've all got different opinions, and they say it. And sometimes they inadvisedly act on it. But they also are trying to figure it out together. They're trying to make it work. So even when they're not perfect, and not always kind, not always their very best selves, they still work together. And they go amazing places. And they do amazing things. This life is an adventure. It's about being pulled forward into its beauty and risk. It's not about just sitting and waiting. When we do that, sometimes it gets hard. When we stick together, work together, we do wonderful things, sometimes hilarious things. So let me ask you one more thing. I want you to imagine that you yourself are a leader here in this church. What kind of leader could help this group of pigs make it through space? Swineherd. Say it again. A person who can help us work together. Ouch. A mediator. What our tradition teaches us is that our children and our youth are not just our future. And you're not just fun in our present. You are people who see the world in a way that can change us. And your curiosity for life, your desire to grow up and to find your life, has the power to lead us all. You're doing that right here today. when a lot of people are someplace else. And you had the courage and the willingness and the teamwork to come down here and sit with me. I want us to all remember that kids in church are not a puzzle for us to figure out, but leaders for us to follow. Thank you all for being here today. Get back to your seats. At my ordination here, Nancy Manlove spoke. And she talked about this night that we spent on the side of a mountain in Venezuela. Was the site of an old diamond mine. It had been retired. We're late into the trip. People smelled bad. This is a Wofford interim, and sometimes fraternities would sign up en masse for these travel trips. So the majority of folks on this trip were guys from one fraternity. The coolers were never full. Party in Venezuela. And we'd seen all kinds of things. Natural beauty, but also shanty towns falling off of mountains outside of cities. And people living on streets in desperate poverty. That night, we sat on the side of that mountain, looking out into the constellations. It's as if the diamonds from the mine had been placed in the sky. So bright, the night of the southern hemisphere. Like pigs, people sometimes smell bad. They don't always eat what's good for them. They can be pretty vicious if you mess with them. They're super smart. And they make great companions. The adventure that we are on asks everything of us. Sometimes we'll see our worst. We have the chance to call out our very best. Nancy sat on the side of that mountain with frat boys and impoverished indigenous people and a very confused Southern Baptist kid from Spartanburg. And she showed us a galaxy and more that we could travel together.
If you will please join us in hymn number 124, Be That Guide.
Be that guide whom love sustains, rise above the daily strife, lift on high the good you find,
extinguish the chalice practicing in church. Church is a place where we get to practice what it means to be human. You're fine.
This has been a totally weird service. Your preacher talked about pigs. In space! And I love you. And I love this freedom to be so real. To be so real. To take this out that door